Hey, it's me, your disembodied head. No kidding. Lamar, I always like your little tidbits of information, and I'm sorry I haven't participating with you in the recent ones because you've lost track of YouTube. Life has thrown me a curveball, and I have to go swing at it, even if it's out in left field, as weird as that says. Sleep or die is actually something that they've proven. However, to the point they don't know exactly how it impacts your body because they haven't done enough studies on it. But the studies that they have come down to link themselves to what you have found yourself. But it can lead to other things. It can also lead to just a general sense of malaise, which will affect the body in such ways such as a lower immune system in regards to responding to infections. Not compromised, but lower response, which means that you'll get sick easier on flus, colds, stomach viruses, Norwalk viruses, the type of 24-48 hour bugs that make you hurl chunks at velocity that impresses radar. The sleep factor depends on the person too. Unfortunately, there's many people out there in Canada and in the US, China, Australia, you name the place, it has it, where they work shift work and you work awkward shifts. I know that for many it disrupts their biological clock to the point of almost no return unless they follow a set prescribed medically approved method to actually get themselves clocked back into proper sync. I'm one of the lucky few that works more or less a 9 to 5 job Monday to Friday, but activities such as what I do here, what I do when I participate in shows where I go and interview the artists, where you have to be there when they're available, which means that you could be there at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It tends to be a little bit overly much. If you're sleeping before midnight, if you go to bed before midnight on a regular routine, I know many people who go to bed at 9. How they manage that, I don't know. But they also rise earlier, which means that they get up at about 5 or 6 in the morning. They're early risers. Then there's people like me who lives getting up at about 8, 7, 7:30, and goes to bed at about midnight or 1. If I get at least 6 hours of sleep in my body, I'm fine. But mental acuity is also impacted by lack of sleep over a prolonged period of time, which means that if you're not getting at least 7 hours of sleep, or 6 or 8, depending on what your personal body's metabolic preference is, you will not be able to recuperate fatigue. Trust me on this. It took me a month to figure out what my breaking point was, and by the time I reached my breaking point, I never believed a human being could fall asleep standing up until it happened to me. In fact, if it wasn't for the rocking chair I was leaning on at the time while watching TV, why I was doing that I don't know, and fell asleep on the rocking chair, I would have probably seriously injured myself. So, take it from someone who's learned by personal experience. But you do need sleep, and you do need to get at least, and I do mean at least, 2 hours consecutive sleep of at least 6 to 7 hours. If you're not doing that, you won't be able to actually make a dent in the fatigue dam that you're building around your own consciousness. And it'll impact everything. It'll impact your moods, your mood swings. It'll impact your capability of functioning on a single task at any given time. Forget multitasking and forget about what they say about multitasking is not productive. Point of fact, look at the woman who was texting in the mall that they captured on Failblog and various YouTube channels that actually went for a dive in the pool of water that she completely missed due to the fact that she was engrossed in the digits that she was pressing. So anyways, That's it. And for dying, it does shave time off your life. The average that I've heard so far is anywhere between 3 to 5 years if you're somebody who doesn't sleep regular, semi-regular sleep patterns, and who always goes to bed at 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. That is painful. That and the fact that you end up not being able to recoup because your body is all it's completely out of whack. By the time you start going to bed, your brain and your metabolic functions are already gearing themselves to get back on track. Your lymphatic system is thrown out of whack. Your digestive humors are completely kaput. And those are only the tip of the iceberg. Imagine here in Canada we've got Medicare. In the US, I'm not sure if you do get the full gist of Medicare, but if you do, it costs a lot to even go to a doctor when you're mildly sick or coming down with a cold. So give yourself a leg up on life and a leg up on your competition, especially if you're out looking for a job. Get to bed earlier as much as you can. I'm not giving you the best example right now. It's 5 minutes past midnight and I have to get to bed myself because I have to wake up tomorrow morning at 7. So with that said, I'll finish it here. But Lamar, as always, you're an intelligent man with intelligent points of views, and it's a pity I've never gotten to know you as a teacher, but I think that you're making differences with many people, or at least I hope so anyways. Have a nice one.